Welcome to a late IHP show with your 5D mystic and some stories and some chit chat. So if it's the first time you're at our IHP show on IHP, welcome aboard. Mentor, content creator, podcast host, and storyteller, but a different type, different kind. Pseudoscience, yes. Pseudo-intellectual, no, although those who would want to twist it around, I know they can, because, all people can manipulate words. So nobody has power over a self-agent, especially a spiritual self-agent. And that's simply because, thanks God. So I have a direct relationship with God because I'm a mystic and I'm a channeler and I'm a downloader. And like anybody who wants to use the word prophet, guru, yogi, shaman, all of it, that's where they go. You just use it all the same. It means nothing. So that's what people who don't have a sense of self-agency with their emotional, mental, physical 14-month-old do. They say, how dare you? And so whenever someone's doing any of this, I'm thinking, wow, I got a non-integrated brain in front of me. There are bazillion of clowns out there. Why are they talking to me? I mean, we're all clowns really, but they can go hang out with the ones who give each other's pats on the back and have a good time. Okay, so here's where mysticism, it's something I'm honored to let you know. When I got clairs, I didn't know they were the same as spiritual gifts. And when I found out neuroscience, neurobiologists, and a lot of more sciences look into our clairs, great. Now everyone from science to spiritual can understand how our brain works and how the infinite space and sky and beyond. And so it's not fictitious when you're channeling and downloading, like it's not fictitious to be a somatic empath and have a relational field. And to find out from sciences people how they have similar experiences like we do, who's we, the mystics and spiritual people, with God and Jesus and Holy Spirit and all that. Great. So if you're new again, I am a co-author of the book, The Ways to God. My chapter is titled, God is Discerning Equanimous Love, where you get to find out a little bit about my past as a Christian Catholic and how when I expanded to spirituality with mysticism, I knew not all my brothers and sisters, they won't like me anymore because we have 3D, 4D. Collective. And those are the limited consciousness people who don't like people like me and think we're buffoons or that we're evil, Knievel, medieval, and they continue to tell you and answer FAQs that I'm just saying we don't need to worry about that. So with that, when we have our tiers and when we have our workshops and retreats, so once our tiers are out, I know we'll be building our 5D mystic community because there'll be content for your lovely 5D mystics, mine, ours. Okay, and so that's when I'll know we're beginning to have those who are actually experiencing the ascension energies and any and all of that, okay? But in the meantime, I'm not with any intention going to populate YouTube with a bunch more of what I've already seen. However, I want to touch upon something that is important because ascension and relationships, I remember learning about light, body, light, body, light. Basically, you lose people when you ascend. There's only 4 waves of twin flames so far. Apparently, this is the lifetime you get to be with them and a bunch more narratives, okay? So they're just completely dressing everything up with Wendy, and I just can't handle noticing how many Wendy's are out there and Pinocchios and Lost Boys, and they all could do one great thing for their self, and they don't. Lo and behold, Patrick Tian, I'm trying to send them to you, but they don't want you, though. They want Boca Raton, the cowards. So Patrick Tian helps people to regain their inner child, become their inner adult, and hold their inner child by the hand. Then there's Tear Real, so you can become an actual fierce lover, meaning a man, woman, or they, who knows whether you're polyamory or monoamory, how to have compersion, not jealousy. Okay, so great. Now that you know how to be an emotionally mature human being, you're a life partner material, you can tune into today's episodes. And anytime you hear anybody telling you universe is a mistake, well, just put your hand on your heart. So sorry for that 0-1-year-old who feels like they're a mistake and everything in the universe is a mistake. They must not know God or that dark matter and dark energy exists and that they get to give themselves with the free will that Robert Sapolsky with Determined says they don't have. Like Lisa points out, they get to give themselves meaning. Look, I just did something magical. It's called Secure, Attached, Non-Traumatized Human Being who found motivation behind the fact that I breathe. And in 24 hours, if I don't wake up tomorrow, it's not easier to be dead and I won't know. And that'll be a really pain in my ass because I love coming back to life again and again and again, but I want to be Maria for a while longer. I'm only 45. I know I'm halfway there. My hope is that I get to live till 1,000 or even 2,000. And really, if I could live on forever without having to start it all over again, Not because I don't like living again, but because I'm just, wanting to hang out and have a good time with the people I love, because again, life is important. So that's why this question, no one loses anyone, but ascension and relationships. So when I see people answering these questions with their channeled guidances from angels, and I can, since 2005, 6, 7, okay, so it's 2025. The first year of round, I was like, okay. Second, I'm like, okay. By the third, I was getting familiar. And at the third, or somewhere around the third or fourth, I forget when exactly, I'm like, you know what? I bet you, Maria, that the way you're feeling about all this stuff is the same way those people introduced all these, I have a feeling that you've already done this before. So I basically started to get the hunch of Dharma, even without having the experience of it. Now I'm completely full on in Dharma, and I know who does karma. Okay, so ascension, yes, we ascend. I've been ascending, like I said, since 2007 pretty much, because that's when my first twin flame made their way to me, and I knew they were coming 7 days prior. What I didn't know was I was already downloading as a teenager, and that I've consistently had spiritual gifts, and that they're also called clairs, and that they're also called other things, and that it's not good or bad that it's made available in all the different languages of the human English species right now. So this is the part, doesn't take away from the experience. What it gives us is the opportunity to expand. That's why science and spirituality, human elements, spiritual elements, they come together for a person like myself and anyone who has intelligence. Because we're not influenced by our memory or deluded by our imagination. Thank you, Sadhguru. Meaning we don't have our implicit and explicit memory affect us. We don't have a 14-month-old ruling us. And we don't get deluded by our imagination because we're not, not grounded in reality. Thank you, Sam Harris. I am grounded in reality, and in my cherishable beliefs, God, I love you, could be falsifiable. By the way, there is no Lucifer. Do you know why? I have proof. Neuroscience. And if you want to tell me that, everyone has something to believe in, no, I'm the woo-woo pseudoscience leading as a mystic. I also know there is no Lucifer, because I had already told God before even becoming a mystic, hey, God, I don't see Lucifer. I see cowards. They're all over the place. They don't know how to tell the truth to 4'9" women. They also lead their life in very crappy ways. They're all cowards. They don't know how to keep their promises. And really, I get to college, and they're all whining about fucking. They're all drinking like maniacs. They're doing drugs. They're not telling me, because I'll rat you out immediately if somebody comes knocking at my door, and I don't kid around. So do not get me in any way, shape, or form involved in something that is illegal, because I'd like to be a member of society, because I care. Oh, you can call me all the names in the book. I still care. So this is what consciousness, and it's a very grounded in reality human being who takes very seriously every single 24 hours of my day. And you can only imagine thinking of losing my loved ones, okay? So the ascension thing, yes, your light body expands, but that basically means you become a mentally, emotionally, and physically mature human being. So self-agent I am, securely attached and untraumatized, and then, yes, I have conversations with God, and more than just that. I see things, yes, but not the way clinically dissociated people see things, and I don't have a window of tolerance that breaks and has me, again, going, it's easier to be dead than alive. No, and that's because I have a ventral vagal state engaged and an integrated brain. And Patrick McNamara explains what happens with decentralizing of the self when it goes bad. And so you have people spreading rumors about yoga bringing demons out of you. People who don't know what mindfulness supports, integration, but mindfulness won't be supportive if you don't contain your sensations, images, behaviors, affects, meanings. And if, oh, by the way, you don't have an emotional body connected with anger, sadness, and fear because you didn't get the 1/3 attunement, repair, and rupture as a kid. And so basically you are a danger. Not really, depends. But if you have some bad shit go down, it's not because mindfulness did it or yoga. It's because you didn't know that muscles, bones, and tissues store trauma, and you can manifest with trauma. You're just going to be doing it like the fancy man and woman in suit that I make fun of, because they're going to continue being there, and many of people follow them. The ones who don't want to go get their emotional body checked in with Patrick Tian, who don't have courage because they're leaving their little child to rot in hell in their body with self-loathing, gut wrench, torn apart. But they can manifest because everybody is connected to source. In fact, you don't need me or anybody to connect you. And when you hear somebody say, thanks to my subliminal messages, you know that that's another Cusco. Ascension. You don't lose people except for the teenagers who want to be a group and pat each other on the back. number one. Number two, your ventral vagal state, very important, which means your mental, emotion, physical health. And it means you get your emotional body online. When you hear somebody doing it, it's awesome. They let you know what a good therapist is. They won't pathologize you. They'll know you can get to wholeness, and they will talk to you about your lovely child parts and your nervous system, and make sure you can have a window that expands of tolerance to affect, and eventually where you won't need them anymore. And that's with, again, EMDR, child part somatics. And they say, I want to do self-help, personal development, I don't want it. You know what? You're a liar. There's a Zen master who says you can't be in enlightenment, and you're bullshit, because look, you made it all seem easy. It's not easy. It ain't how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Don't you know that life will put you to your knees? You, lady, don't know anything about life. Look how easy it is for you. So, FYI, I make fun of human suffering because I'm trying to get over judging it. A fucking waste of my time, and God keeps chiming in. And this time I did a good job tonight. So basically, it's because my body doesn't know suffering. Since I don't use my temporal junction like the Zen master, and I use my prefrontal. It's called common sense to me, but apparently not everybody has self-agency. As a 3-year-old, I was already differentiated and said, you can't spank me, it's my body. And then I went to make my suitcase. So that hopefully clarifies why my body didn't get broken, and why God and I have chit-chats all the time. And Jesus I love, I follow in his footsteps, which is to forgive, to turn the other cheek, and to be blessed, because I do know that in every human being there's a heart. I do know they will close it the minute they don't want to really create a relationship with me, because that's how people do it when they are completely not enamored with their self because of shame, blame, fault, revenge, and there's no Lucifer inside of any of them. Nope, 1 to 22. Michael Stone, he is a forensic criminologist and has a scale. So your relationships will continue to expand if you're a securely attached, non-traumatized person who has compersion for all people, not just, again, for a polyamory crew. It's any person in your life, you want them to be happy, independently if they're a lover or not. 2, your family, loved ones, all this. I mean, really, if you're a healthy self-worth, you don't distance people because you don't need to. As Michael Yapko points out, a lot of people don't know how to just be people in their household. Now, Terry Real is great at helping people to learn how to treat each other with functional adult tones. I'm already here as a functional child adult, so that's why we do relationship stuff, yes. Manny Diego Sid, okay? So, again, I'm trying to bring it to the personal development chit-chat, not to any of the other stuff, but if you are concerned, you lose the ones you love. Again, when we have our tears, we can talk about that, because I did notice things. I just don't want to talk about it on YouTube because it's not fun. What I can tell you is that it's nice to see that the people who take care of themselves go and heal with Patrick Chan, Terry Real, and Dr. Bezel van der Kolk, and Dr. Daniel Siegel, and Janina Fisher, all the sciences people who care, the neurobiologist, Patrick McNamara. It's great that he's doing his research so that all of our brothers and sisters can know that there's no demon inside of them. And also that their actual capacity is to go and become a self-regulating human being with an integrated brain, and self-regulating with awareness and accountability. And that if it's hard, those great therapists know how to tell you, well, it might take 20 years, but you keep checking along with us, like Dr. Daniel Fox presents, and have healthy self-worth people around you, you'll be doing great. And it's okay, we all fall back on our patterns. Again, lovers all have a siren to them. We all get sloppy, but you don't want to be the siren. So the siren technically is when you're modulated, dysregulated. I'm not that, but I tried to bring myself in there because I know people like, you are imperfect too. Yes, I get sloppy with some things, and I know it. So I like to bring myself into the mix so that people understand. I do know Maria. I'm just really ahead of the game because I came from the future, you see? I'm not kidding right now. One of those first downloads is I come from the future. This was my soul sister. We talked about the ascension energies and relationships and people. So you don't lose people, but remember, we do only have 24 hours. So till death do you part, sickness and health, rich or poor. Unfortunately, nobody decides that fate. Well, you do decide your health, and you do decide a lot of other things, but you don't actually decide a lot. And yes, the ascension energies continue to come in, and people are affected by them, yes. A lot of scientists, people also know how we're affected by each other. So, like I kept trying to help you understand, I see every so often 144 new thousand, 144 plus the twin flame waves, and then all these other people who come. They've been coming on YouTube since I began looking at YouTube, and now that I notice they're repeating the same messages, I said, let me make one so that people can know you don't lose people, but you do definitely grow with people who want to be with you. And so that's the part of where healthy self-worth individuals are functional, again, inner child adults, so we don't feel anybody pushy or not pushy, we don't get sensitive, we just have a fun time. And that's because, though, you're differentiating and you know how to mindfully be yourself. So you actually, thanks to your oversoul, you get to put into practice the physical mastery. I'm an Akashic record reader. So consistently when I'm around anyone, I am practicing differentiation. I might notice that they are in their suffering nervous system, because depends who I'm with. Some people have a avoidant, ambivalent, or disorganized attachment category. That will come through. Their suffering will come through. When I meet people who have shame, that's a whole different story. And yes, sometimes we can be invisible to 3D, 4D. I didn't believe it because I am grounded in reality, but when it happened, I then shortly after got the explanation of why. So a person who is a self-regulating, securely attached, non-traumatized being, right here, it's an integrated brain. Okay, I'm present because I'm curious, open, accepting, and loving of you. And I'm also curious, open, and accepting and aware and loving of me, and connected. Okay, so I'm connected to Maria, and I'm in my prefrontal, connected, open, accepting, and aware and loving. And that, okay, so when I pick up on your guitar string, because I'm attuning to you, because that's what we do as mammals, and then to the entire room, thanks to Dr. Daniel Siegel, when I feel my panic attacks starting to come, I just say differentiate, differentiate, because it wasn't you before, and I don't visualize anything, I don't cut chords, no. The cutting chords and visualizations, I'll do it if I'm practicing something with another practitioner out of respect. And there's Reiki, Akashic, hypnotherapy, there's a bunch of different practitioners, so they have the same MO, and I will, out of respect, do that which is given to me to do. But as a mentor, I don't do let's visualize cutting chords, because there's no need to cut anything. Now, the visualizing of the, yeah, sure, that can help. But what I'll give you first is, hey, here's some psychoeducation that was given to me. When you're using your prefrontal cortex and you're in a physiological state of compassion, this is going to help you. It's called self-recalibrating and self-regulating, excuse me. So when I was presented with somebody yelling in my face, I was able to easily do that. And I was very happy that I was able to do that, because my lovely friend didn't need to be shamed, since it's not their fault that they have this huge, and a lot more of shit going down. So again, I didn't lose that person, and we don't navigate the same frequency. Actually, I hope that I made a difference, and not in only that person's life, in other people's lives. But I don't know, because, you know, it's where people will let you know if they are doing well, if they want, and if they don't, and stuff like that. So you don't lose anyone, but the people that don't see you, they will typically have shame so profound that it's triggering their attachment wounds. It flares up. I can't help looking at you. And so when I notice if I try to look away that way. Nobody has to look in the eyes of anybody else, and I don't have to, you know, do something. And then some people say, why don't you look in my eyes? You have to look in my eyes. And I say, well, I learned actually that no, it's bad manners. And actually you're what, a coward now? So, you know, again, anytime you're meeting people who don't really know why you do what you do, and they like to chime on in, you just say, okay. No, I try to share the information. But again, Ascension energies, they do bring out that which is meant to be processed from within. If you have an inner growth mindset, because you're able to sift through sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. And so your mindfulness is there, focusing attention, awareness is cool, kind intention, you got self-compassion, you got hope, you got faith, some of you, others you got science, you know, meaning is yours to give. Okay, things happen in general because that's how our world works. But yes, Ascension energy stuff, yes, that's all I'm going to say. But they don't get distance from you, and you're not needing to be protected by anybody, because nobody's out to get you. Okay, that's the other part, but you need to know what you believe in. So when I've told people, look, I can't actually work with your subconscious. If you believe there's energy vampires in any way, shape, or form, or a curse, I won't be able, I'll try, but your subconscious is way stronger than any of what I can give you. Because that's your 0-8-year-old, and your nervous system is on a roll with it, and there you go. So it's really that you're not going to be your true self as a grown-up if you're still ruled by your 0-8-year-old, but a bunch of people don't think they are. And remember, we're all going to make sense to ourselves. Nobody's nonsensical to themselves. Thank you, Terry. So I already knew that, which is why I can totally know why I would always make sense to me, which is why I can totally know why somebody would bullshit everyone. I mean, 97% of what is out there is unavailable for any of scientists to observe. So you can better bet spirituality. People aren't worried about it. I don't have to prove God. I have faith because I have a relationship with God and Jesus and Holy Spirit. It's mine. It's not yours. And also some people don't have faith. And when I meet intuitives, say, I'm intuitive. I know what you're doing. Okay, you don't. And if you get into my energy sphere, I'll look like a little whack job as I send you the fuck away and then say, how dare they? And just say, okay, are we done being a whack job? Because really, let me sunshines and rainbows and magicaboo, and there you go. And I'm done. And I'm not even joking with you all. I've had people in my sphere. Again, it is not hilarious because you think, no, there's no black magic. You can't break free will. Maybe you didn't understand what God is. Then again, you don't talk about God, do you? You talk about divinity and spirit and magic. So you are in a whole different plane. Yeah, no, see, I know God. And I know all the other words and Akash and Source. But my point is, you don't break God. You don't break it. That's it. Lucifer, fallen angel. Anyone? Again, I really don't understand. No, I do. People who don't understand that they continue with stories of evil Knievel medieval and they need a battlefield to go on. So Ascension Relationships. No, you don't lose anyone, but yes, things do take place. We'll talk some more about it, but at the end of the day, don't you worry about a thing. If you care about your loved ones, right? We take care of ourselves, and then we take care of each other, like Sid tells Manny and Diego, and then we make common sense and very moderate decisions, because, again, unless you're stupid. As Neil deGrasse says, a lot of people do a lot of stupid things with their brain, and he blames the education system. No, Neil, no. It's actively, when you don't get a third attunement, repairing ruptures, and a good parenting style, and the person is a self-agent who can hear. So, I mean, I still need reminders, but I do know how to walk in the middle. But that's because as a kid growing up, I didn't do, let me spite you, Mom. I did, okay, I heard you, and that's because it was very good advice. As grown-ups, all of them gave it to me. Once I became my own adult, I said, okay, I'm starting to see that some things aren't really accurate, but that wasn't about how to walk a walk and talk a talk. Sleep well, eat well, listen to your body, do the basics. Okay, so the basics are important. And that's why moderation, it's fun. We only live once. So again, don't be afraid. You don't lose people. Nobody needs to be distanced. However, there are those who don't like our anchored in ventral energy, just so you know. Yes, some people don't like healthy self-worth people and confidence. And as Dr. Daniel Fox presents, they will leave because you don't cast stones. So when somebody does characterological distinctions, healthy self-worth people don't play along and they don't participate. And those who don't like it don't hang around us because you didn't take my side. I didn't realize I had to take a side. You sound vicious by the minute and I think you're upset. So not really about sides. I'm more of let's take what's happening. I'm a mindfulness practitioner. I don't want to be a solution, but I'm just saying like it would be really great if you metabolize that, which is coming up in a healthy way with me or not me. But you know, journaling does help. Walking can help. Being objective with your subjective reality and not, you know, being an idiot helps. Anyone? Okay. So again, you don't lose people with this shift, and the shift has been going on for a while. So when you see these new lights that are going to come, not come, we'll find out, because I know that there is some more important timeline events, but the big shit, it already happened, just so you know. But then again, 4D and 3D are not going to experience what I'm talking to you about because they actually have a lower frequency leading them. Yes, so that's a whole different story, but I'm not here for the 4D, 3D collective. So they definitely think that it's easier to be in the sphere of stars because their body weighs them down. And so again, I don't want to be the bearer of the news where you are going to, what's the word? You reap what you sow, right? Yeah, you manifest with your own thoughts, so you manifest all the time. That's where some people are addicted to drama and stress, and they're modulated embodiment. That's why they're the sirens of themselves. Again, I know my siren is not modulated or dysregulated. I'm in my ventral vagal state. I get eustress, and then I have sloppiness with some other stuff, but it's really little things. Know it all. No, I don't know it all. I just know some things, and I really care about living as long as I can because I'm having a good time being alive. Staying alive, ha, ha, ha. So there you go. I hope that it was supportive to any of you who were curious. And again, when we get our tiers, we'll talk some more if you have specific questions. But you don't lose anyone. The ascension energies do bring forth that which is ready to be healed and welcomed by the person. It means their whole self, first of all, and then they continue to expand and they get to live out their dharma. And our karma, we continue to process it. So your thoughts and your emotions are yours. You hold them, and then you walk like an Egyptian, and you share the best version of yourself. You bring in your A game. That's with life partner, and life partners are pretty much all, and that's romantic, non-romantic. So we get to, again, support our younger generation to walk a walk and talk a talk in their ventral vagal state, to support our brothers and sisters who are not. If they want to hang around, we'll hang around them too. We don't need to distance anyone because Manny, Diego, instead have fun. And Pacha is who we are at the end of the day, and Cusco gets to have fun with Pacha too. And so the ones who will ascend and enlighten, it's awesome. The ones who will think they're ascending and enlightening too, there's a Zen master who tells you how you cannot physically always be in enlightenment, and there you go. They've got millions of followers. So it's a choice if you want to do emotional resiliency and have fun with it, integration of brain, and saying, yes, I get to be my restorative embodiment, and every day get to keep on creating that momentum because it's a muscle, your brain. And neuroplasticity agent is imagination. So you use the bright sides and you say, 1 and a 2. And eventually it's not really any of this. It's more like, ha, 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 I love to love. And my baby, he loves to laugh and live and learn and expand and not cast stones. And that's how we do it. This is how we do it. Okay, so we'll be back with more. Again, thanks for stopping by.